I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. You may be seated. As advertised at 6 o'clock, we will have a public hearing for the Macon County DOT Secondary Roads. So at this time, I declare the public hearing open for the public hearing for the Macon County DOT Secondary Roads. With us from the DOT, we have Mr. Brian Burch, Mr. Wesley Grindstaff. You gentlemen, please come forward. We have no one from the public who has signed up to speak. So, Mr. Burch, you have the floor.
Thank you, Commissioner Bill. On behalf of Conrad Burl, our Board of Transportation member, and Joel Setcher, our Division Engineer, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to come here tonight and give you the fiscal year 2010 program for Macon County. It's our secondary road program that we try to come annually and present to commissioners. Of course, as many of you may remember, we have about 2.5 months left in fiscal year 2010, and we're just now getting the opportunity to spend these funds. So we're a little bit delayed, but we're hopeful this following year that we'll be back in June and give you our anticipated program for fiscal year 2011. The allocation for Macon County this fiscal year is $364,145. The anticipated allocation for next year, I will say, looks much better. So hopefully we will have a bigger program as we come back in June. But that's our apportionment for this year. And with that, I will introduce Mr. Grindstaff, our district engineer, and allow him to present the program.
Welcome, Mr. Grindstaff. You have the floor, sir.
Brian said, thank you for the opportunity to present this. It is, compared to years past and whatnot, this is a very abbreviated, I guess, allocation, so therefore we have a very abbreviated program.
If you want to use the word very small or next to none, Wesley, that's fine.
Leave that open for however you want to interpret it. We will have a copy of the proposed program if there is room for Macon County. You see the allocations, as Brian stated, for the new allocations for 2010, 364, 145. We have proposed 2 projects. One that's was approved in years past, but the first one would be improvements to a section of Iotla Church Rd in the vicinity of the access to the new and upcoming Iotla school that's going on there, in the vicinity where the driveway and bus driveway will access Iotla Church Rd. There's a need for some safety improvements, horizontal and vertical curb alignments there, just to make that whole area there, entrance area, as well as the roadway for anyone safer. Has a length of just over 0.2 miles, the section that will be improved. Estimated costs on that will be $150,000. We've had some discussions about this when the idea of the project came out. You all know that it would most likely be done as a reimbursement agreement from Macon County DOT to Macon County, so we don't mix up contractors and have that major problem with 2 different contractors and they're trying to work on at the same time. So we have received your engineer's preliminary plan and estimate, and it's been approved. So,
Great.
We would ask that you consider this resolution after you take public comment. That, along with the second one we have there, would be a continuation of the very large Mountain Road project that we had, applying the remainder $214,198 toward that B section, the middle section. Part of it is complete. Apply this toward trying to get the rest of that section complete. Ask you to take these projects under consideration. You are agreeable to them. Pass a resolution on the program, and these will be good for expenditure.
Just for the public that's here, Mr. Grindstaff, at the Iotla school, this money that you see, the $150,000, that will be included with the grading contract, whoever grades the new school. And then that will be reimbursed to the county from the state, and that's already been approved, that reimbursement's been approved, correct?
The plan is being approved. Once that we receive your resolution passed for the expenditure of this money, we will draft a reimbursable agreement, an actual physical document agreement to be signed, either by the county manager or someone who has the authority to do so in the county. It's an agreement that we enter that detail exactly what's going to take place.
Any questions for Mr. Grindstaff before we move on to another subject? One thing I do want to bring before the other board members, Mr. Grindstaff, is Buck Creek Road. I represent the county. As the public knows, the DOT is under a new way for road construction and what gets lubed up and down. But Buck Creek Road, if you saw the new sign that's going up, it's going to go up soon. That for 20,000 pounds road, we can no longer go up to the gorge. Those signs are up now. So this is going to mean more and more traffic on Buck Creek Road. As evidenced by there, we've seen, you can see, Mr. Grindstaff, if you want to look at this picture, you can see where the dump trucks have went over the white line, thus causing the breaking of the shoulders of the road. And of course, our concern is with school buses and everything that's on Buck Creek Road. So I would like for you to tell the board and those present that we have moved Buck Creek Road up on the schedule and what that means.
I speak to the condition of it or the what's in place. I don't think everyone would disagree that the road is through this section here, just for about a mile, maybe a mile and a half after you leave US 64 on the west end, this end. That section of Buck Creek Road, I do not disagree one bit. It's substandard from what we'd like to see in our secondary roadways, especially this being somewhat of a truck alternate route there. The physical parameters around it doesn't lend itself to it really being an issue, something that maintenance or operational funds that we have our hands on immediately can correct. You've got one side that's no shoulder straight off into US 64, and you've got houses on the other side.
Or rock cliff.
Or rock cliff. I mean, it's not something that we could do under maintenance. As far as the edge cracking and whatnot, we are aware of. There are some issues, especially this winter has been extremely hard on our roadways. I'm sure everyone has observed that. There are some maintenance issues that we can correct. We will correct these the best we can when it involves that edge cracking, but it would not involve road widening per se. I will speak to what you referred to about it being a high priority roadway, and Brian, you may have to chime in, you know more than I do about this. With the new administration on the statewide level, Beverly Perdue and Secretary Conti, one of their goals was to revise the process, the TIP process, whereby they North Carolina also considered strongly public input, local government input into prioritizing our projects, our bigger type projects, and we could actually deliver or put together a plan, a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan, these mid-range projects that we could show you what's going to be put on the ground, and they could actually be deliverable projects and would be delivered within a time frame that we are announced. When the first rating cycle was just completed, where the DOT rated our important projects, what we felt was important. The RPOs and MPOs rated where they fell, and in both, when it all came together and was collaborated, this section of Buck Creek Road came out extremely high in priority, so it would lend itself to that being a high priority project. I don't know a timeline. I can't do that, but Brian, you may be able to speak on it.
Yeah, the prioritization process is underway. We do have a draft TIP improvement program, but it's not something that's been acted on by the board. It's hopefully it will be by June, and once it is adopted by the board, then we can give you a more definite timeline. I have seen the draft. this section was in the 5-year plan. I can't remember exactly when, I just looked at it this morning, but there were several projects I was trying to find, and Buck Creek being one of them. I can't remember the definite date, but it was.